Well, greetings everybody. Joseph, Green Mountain Gold Trap. And many of you saw this video. It was from the other day, March 14th, first trip out of the season. It was a great time. I absolutely loved it. But when you get into place, you start to think, because being from Vermont, I know what happens when weather warms up. So I want to show you today the dangers of doing what you see me doing here. But of course, before I even set up, before I even got into place, I checked the situation out. I've got myself an exit plan, and I know what to listen for. So today I want to give you some caution. It's probably a little bit too late. I don't know, maybe there's some areas where there's still ice. So pay attention to this video, and I hope that it saves some lives, because this is very serious stuff. You don't want to be out here when what I'm about to show you takes place. So sit back and just watch and learn. Take care. So this is what we call ice flow. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're in that river, even standing on the edge of the embankment, what you see here, this will completely wipe you out. I mean, you don't stand a chance. It takes trees off from the edge of the embankment. I mean, you look over to the right and you see that just to the upper right-hand corner of the screen, there's that little scrub tree there. You see branches coming down the river, just huge chunks of ice, mammoth chunks of ice in some cases. I mean, even if it's not this dense, I mean, look down here in the center of the screen, that big piece heading up into the branches. You don't want to be out there. You just absolutely don't want to be out there. But I've witnessed this many times, and I took these clips from other people's videos. I mean, look at this. Look at this coming down river. It's like a tsunami. It's an ice tsunami. And this is what would have happened if I was out there yesterday. Or not yesterday, but the 14th. Because most of the river was like what you see here. And so when that stuff starts to bust and ice dams upriver let go because of the warmer temperatures, it just takes over everything. Absolutely everything. And you wouldn't stand a chance. But there are signs. I mean, you can hear, if you know this, if you've been around it, you know what to listen for. I mean, when I got there yesterday, as you saw in the first parts of the video, I was showing the river when I was still standing up by the van, and you could barely hear that river. But when there's no ice on, when you get to where I was standing, as I had stated in that video, you could really hear that river flowing. So when you're standing in the water, when there's a lot of ice, it quiets everything down. So you want to listen for sounds. You want to, listen for cracking noises. And I mean, always, please have yourself an exit plan. I mean, I do this even during the summertime, spring months when it's warm out. I'll pick a rock in the river. I do this every time without fail. I will find a rock in the river, and in my mind, I'm saying, that's my rock. I want a rock in the river that's just sticking up a little bit, maybe about 5-6 inches or whatever. And I take a mental picture of that rock, what it looks like when I get there. And I'm watching for water levels to rise. And that's what I use that rock for. I always have myself an exit plan. I know where my stuff is. I know what I'm going to grab, how quickly I'm going to grab it, and which way I'm leaving. So always, look at this. Just look at it. I mean, it just tumbles them branches and stumps and trees, and it takes everything. It just takes everything. So you just absolutely do not, I mean, come on, don't take chances. If you don't think that you can get out of there when something's coming, I mean, if you're working on an inside bend where you can't see upriver, you shouldn't even be there. You just shouldn't even be there. So I mean, I really felt the need to come on and share this with you, because I can just imagine. I mean, during Hurricane Irene, when Irene struck Vermont. I think it was, well, it was in 2011. I think it was August. I can't remember what month, but it was late in the month. I think it was August. There was two people that works for the water department for the area I live in, and we have a water supply, and it comes from up in the mountains and the rivers. And so they were up there checking on it. It was a father and son that both worked for the water department, and they lost their lives. They lost their lives. The river took out the embankment, and they ended up going in, and for the longest time, they never even found their bodies. But I think I heard that they have found them. But can you imagine? I mean, just imagine. Look at those chunks of ice. Absolutely big and huge, mammoth. I mean, you just wouldn't stand a chance. And of course, during Hurricane Irene, there wasn't ice. It was during the summer months. It was the warmer weather. So you're dealing with full-size trees and lots of them, big boulders tumbling down the river. I mean, that water right there is moving fast enough to be moving boulders. If it's moving those big chunks of ice, it's going to be moving boulders. You just wouldn't stand a chance. Absolutely, you wouldn't stand a chance. When water is flowing, I can't remember if it's 8 miles an hour. It's something like 800 pounds of pressure. I can't remember the figures. So crossing the water during the summer when the water's high, don't do it. Just don't even try. Rocks can be slippery if you lose your footing. If you're wearing waders and those waders get filled up with water, it's just going to suck you under. So you always want to, really use your head. Really, really use your head. Don't make foolish moves. I mean, like that picture in the beginning, gold at what cost? Is it really that important? I mean, you may have gold fever, and that's all well and good, but don't have it so bad that you're willing to lose your life for it. Look at that tree. I mean, that's, so I don't know. I just wanted to share this with you and really try to tell you, be careful. Be careful. You just never know. You absolutely never know. Have an exit plan. Pick a rock. Even during beautiful days in the summer, pick a rock in the river and take a mental picture of it and know exactly where you are, what the water level is when you get there, and just pay attention, because you don't know what it's doing up in the mountains. I mean, here we can have beautiful weather down here in the valley, but up in the mountains it can be just coming down, and you just don't know it because you're nowhere near it. During the summer months, springtime, when the ice starts to melt on the mountainsides, it's a beautiful day out, but the water is extremely high, and that's because of the runoff, because of the melt-off. So you just really have to pay attention when you're out there. I mean, look at this. He's going to run down in a minute here, and you'll see font come across the screen that I put in. That ice is like a foot thick. It's just, you really have to be careful. You really have to be careful when you're out there. Always pay attention. Have an exit plan. Pick a rock. Look at the water level. Watch for it to rise, and don't take chances. Just get out of there. If it looks like it's rising, if it looks like there's going to be storms coming, just pack up your stuff and go. And even if it doesn't, I mean, at least you were smart and got out of there. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Look at that. Look at that. So be safe. Be safe. From Green Mountain Gold Trap, I care about each and every one of you, people I don't even know. So take care out there and enjoy.